Imagine, if you will, it was July 8th, 2007. You watch a new show on the airways known as Total Drama Island. As you watch this parody of Survivor, which follows 22 unsuspected and unwitting teenagers compete against themselves to stay safe and to not get banished, all for the chance for the money prize of $100,000. That's going to get you a PS5 or two. Safe to say that Total Drama Island was a good show that made lots of sequels, some spin-offs. Some great, some that are poo-doo. And then the show get rebooted. Memorable characters, memorable ships, and memorable rivals. Unfortunately, this is the internet, and internet houses lots of creative minds out there. So, naturally, there was going to bound for one mind out there thinking, what if Total Drama Island didn't have a good beginning? What if the campers didn't come back home? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be tackling a certain TikTok AU called Island of the Slaughtered. A TikTok Total Drama Alternate Universe, or AU, that has, no joke, kept me up at night paranoid. I kid you not. It has ruined any chance of me to have a good night's sleep. Now then, I want to make it clear. Island of the Slaughter was created by a TikTok user named @Eves_RY. I hope I'm not pronouncing that name wrong. But yes, they are the ones who created this. Who is also 14. That's crazy. Like, imagine you made something so viral that it's spreading over TikTok and now entering YouTube at that young age. So, with the positive feedback of Island of the Slaughter, this will help them make more stuff, like maybe more stuff about Invader Zim, maybe something about Sonic, because heck, we need more EXT Sonics, or heck, maybe a sequel to Revenge of the Slaughter, or Island of the Slaughter. Who knows? The day's still young. But, every creator has their own path, so who knows? Maybe they'll take a break from Total Drama. But listen, this video is going to be dark. You can already tell the thumbnail right there. Heck, I'm not even sure if this video will get out. Which I kind of hope it does, because I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this video again. Seriously. Hopefully this video passes, but this video is dark. Really dark. I'm talking body horror. I'm talking gore. And I'm talking most, if not all, your favorite characters in Total Drama suffering horrible fates. I mean, yeah, it's false, but the pictures alone are freaking me out at night. Just now I needed a picture, and this was the only tame in comparison. And already I don't want to even look at the screen while recording. So, I'm only going to be reading you the books, okay? If you want to go see the pictures, go ahead, but I take it from someone who have seen them. It's creepy. It would ruin your chances of sleep. So if you want to have a good night's sleep tonight and preserve your love for Total Drama, I suggest you get off the video now. But for those who don't care about their sleep, let's begin. So how could this happen? How did this start? Simple. Episode 1 of Total Drama Island. It starts out the same way, how the original episode starts. You meet the campers, we meet Chris. Everything is normal. But everything is Not normal. So picture this. What if, because of poor inspections, no one knew about a man in the woods who is not happy or is happy? I don't know. It depends on you what you think about a monster who's willing to do horrible deeds. It didn't took long before a massacre began. So why did the campers stay? Oh, because Chris took his crew into a boat and left the campers to the slaughterhouse when the first victim was discovered. Classic Chris McClane move. I mean, come on, let's be honest. That's something Chris McClane would do. In the first sense of danger, he's gonna throw the campers to the zombies. Reports were made from the families of the missing children, the missing teens. I'm sorry, but not much was done because the location of the island was never mentioned, and also because I'm pretty sure the island doesn't really exist. I mean, it was probably next to a fast food establishment. Last time I checked on Total Drama. But anyways, so no one could put Chris away. So a month had passed and Chris returned with two other people. So just by me saying that alone, Chris is might as well be our main protagonist for this one. And it's hard to say if he's doing this because of guilt, sympathy, he couldn't handle the blame being thrown at him, or is he just doing this for selfish intentions like selfish intentions? Selfish intentions. You know, like he's trying to make himself look good again. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. So, you might be wondering, okay, so who was the first victim? Well, who who was the first one to be eliminated off the OG? Who was the first one eliminated in the OG Total Drama Island? Ezekiel. All right. First victim, Ezekiel Miller. Hide and seek. Rule 1. Find him quickly. Ezekiel was just a homeschool boy who lived in the farm. He had so much things to learn about the world. It was a shame when he was found hiding under his bunk bed, and then on the lifeguard chair, and then in the kitchen cupboards, and in the tree hole all at once. Chris, have you heard about it? About his love for hide and seek? It was one of the few outdoor games he knew how to play. You will hear a whisper in your ear, a mumble. You won't know what it says the first time. Don't ignore it. Listen to it carefully. As you walk the island, the mumbling will become more clear. Keep paying attention. Once you make out the words, find my hand, find it, search everywhere, quickly. You will be given an amount of time to do so. He will repeat this in rounds to you. Find my leg, find my arm, find my torso, find my head. Different parts of him you must look for, and if you do find him, he'll leave for a while. If you don't, find yourself a good place to hide, because he'll be the one looking for you, and he's really good at this game. That was like, wow, just wow. I mean, look, I get it. Ezekiel isn't much fan favorite, but still, the fact that the monster, I'm just going to refer to the person responsible for this, the monster that, took the lives of so many campers did this to Ezekiel, it's just crazy. Like, he literally sliced him, diced him, and hide his body everywhere. And it's like, what for? I mean, yeah, Ezekiel disrespected women in the first episode, but he's just a homeboy. He's a home. He basically lived in that farm for Lord knows how long, and you mean to tell me his fate is to be sliced and diced? I mean, I'm not trying to say that Pharaoh Ezekiel was any better, but at least he was alive. I'm telling you, it's dark, so. But I warn you guys, okay? So let's continue on with victim number two. And I know a lot of the boys in the back are going to be very upset about this, but. Victim two, Lindsay Top. Silent Lindsay. Rule 2. Backstabbers get what they deserve. Lindsay trusted a lot of people. She considered them friends. One of those people was Chris. But why did he leave her there? Why did he leave her there to get her mouth sewed shut? Why did he leave her there to get thrown off the cliff? Why did he leave her there to deform her face? How do you feel, Chris? Do you feel scared? Is it because of the guilt catching up to you? Or is it because you feel as if you're being followed? Oh yeah, you know you're being followed. She doesn't waste any time appearing herself in front of you. She doesn't even try to hide herself. She's just there, watching your every move. Her mouth is grotesquely soon shut. One of her eyeballs have popped out her socket. One of her ears are missing. A stick is plugged right in her forehead. Do what you want. Stare at her or run away. Either choice, she'll eventually begin to walking towards you in a speedy pace. She catches you, you're done for. You run, she follows. It's then you realize you're on top of a cliff, corner at the very edge. She planned this. You see her figure as she walks closer. Do it. Jump. See if you land on the water or on the land. You won't survive either way. Poor Lindsay. Lindsay, she was pretty much an airhead, okay? And I will never forget the episode where she just cursed out Heather. That was monumentous. That was monumental. So, for her to suffer this fate was kind of bad. Already you can tell you can't tell, but my hair is just sticking up right now. Like, I'm really paranoid. I'm really gonna not be able to sleep well at all. I'm even doing this on the broad daylight. Let's keep going. I need to get this done with. Overgrown Sadie. Rule 3. Be aware of the difference. Katie was Sadie's best friend. Sadie was Katie's best friend. They grew up and did everything together. They faced almost every same problems with one another. But this was the challenge of their life. It really did hurt for Katie to watch as the man feeds Sadie to the wolves. Chris, is there anything else you know about Sadie? Other than being someone's best friend? Did you know that she loved ponies? Since the last time you've been in the island, plants have started to overgrow and abandon. There were veins almost everywhere, as well as mushrooms and bush and flowers. She stunts amongst them. Upon entering the forest, you'll hear a faint rustling behind you. You turn back and you begin to ponder. Was there flowers there before? You can't tell. You continue to walk, and it's the same thing happening over and over. She doesn't want you to go anywhere. Not after what you let it done to her. For one moment, you look at her from a safe distance. You look again, she's much closer to you now. You better keep an eye on her, on the right thing, or she won't let you see her coming. So, yeah, in case you can't tell, the campers are very vengeful towards Chris, and I wouldn't even blame them. I'm not sure if it was said that they took care of the other campers. There are survivors. I will let you know. There are survivors. There's some of your favorite characters that have survived. But it's either they got revenge on their monster, or are they specifically after Chris? So, Yeah. Victim 4. Justin. Justin of the mirrors. Rule 4. Don't look at his face. Justin loved modeling. He liked showing his body off and getting away with things through pretty privilege. Everyone loved him, including himself. He could pull out any type of look. Maybe that's why the man wanted it. People would steal anything these days. Chris, have you heard about doppelgangers? It's said that everyone has one somewhere. The first time you see him is unsettling. You'll see him in any object that can reflect you, in water, glassware, mirrors, even people's eyes where you see yourself. He stands like you, mimics your actions and gesture. A perfect impersonation. Except for the fact that his face is a raw and bloody canvas of muscle. Dare look closer and you can see the puffy veins that snake their way across the exposed tissue. His eyes, devoid of eyelids and lashes, they stare at you with a haunting and vacant intensity. From then on, it shadows you closer, a constant mimic by your side. You feel motion as it repeats your action, the mutters as it echoes your words, until eventually he speaks before you do, moves before you do. You see it now. You see your face on the other side. He answers to your name. It's his name now. Creepy. Creepy, I tell you. That's just creepy, to be honest. Dang, I'm not trying to even try to prolong this, but dang. I'm gonna keep going, okay? But still, it's I don't like creepypastas so much, so reading these one by one, it's dang. It's it's just dang. Fifth victim, Beth. Big smile, Beth. Rule 5. Once you see her, don't turn around. Beth loves when she has company. She gets really excited when someone wants to talk to her. She always put on a grin on her face to be approachable. The man didn't like her smile. He helped her by removing her braces. Chris, we know how much you underestimate Beth. I guess it's justifiable. But what you did to her wasn't. She was nice to you, wasn't she? She smiled at you, and she will continue to do so. It starts off when you're in the cabin. You hear a tap of the window. You look outside, and that's when you see her. There she is, sitting upside down with her hands from a distance. She stares at you with a toothy smile, with wide, unblinking eyes. Your eyes only remain on her. She doesn't move. You look away for a moment to call it for your helpers. You look back. Her face is now pressed against the window. She breathes. The glass gets foggy. Her whole face is pale, covered in blood, but she continues to grin widely at you. You walk back. You're about to turn around. She bangs on the window and slowly shakes her head. You feel warm breathing against your ear from behind you. Listen to the girl out the window. Don't turn around. Stretch neck Tyler. Rule 6. Everything is okay. Tyler was someone you wouldn't make fun of anything about you. He was nice. Don't you think it was funny when he feared chickens? It's a good thing he was Angelique in the pig pen instead. Angelique means, you know, neck being stretched. You know, that trap that in the World Tour. Chris, if there's something about you don't know about Tyler, it's that he's not just a dumb jock. He has feelings too. Once you're around where the pig pen is, you jump at the sudden loud of clear scream. That's when you know he's there. You won't see him for a while, but be cautious. Trust me, when I say he sees you, make no noise. When moving, keep walking at a normal pace. Pretend that scream didn't bother you at all. The grass shuffles as you walk. You hear her scream again. This time it sounded closer. Keep walking. Keep calm. That's the smartest thing you can do. You feel the rain started to drop. Look up to see the stars that once guide you. You made it out the forest. Who knows what could have happened to you in there? Just be glad you survived this one. Just act like the rain wasn't his tears. Just pretend you did not just see his face staring from above you. Okay, okay. Seventh victim, Noah. Noah of the waters. Rule 7. Mind your business. Noah was just used to being picked on. It didn't really bother him anymore. He just wished people would leave him alone. But not in the sense of leave him by himself in the forest. To be strangled and drowned by a murderer was not anything he could handle. Don't take gambles when you're messing with the dead, Chris. If that sounds like you just might be his type. He has an eye for an easy mark, especially when you're lost in his new home. You explore the forest to find no hope of escape. Be suspicious of stuff humming from afar. It belongs to him. You follow the voice. The darkness reaching to you very slowly. Then you see him alone in the center of the lake. His humming voice was soothing. It was hypnotizing you. It gave you an unsensible chill that crawls up your neck and gets you on your last nerve. That's how he plays the game. Delicate and calm. He gives you just enough rope to hang yourself. You only have one choice. You realize turning back won't get you anywhere. You must go forward. Do so very slowly, but stay out of reach, or he'll drag you down to the depths of the rivers alongside him. It really, it's really saddened me when I read that, because Noah was my favorite character. The Redunculus race made me realize that this man can do more, and it made me mad that prior seasons he gets underutilized. And also, I just want to make a note. I've been seeing a lot of people be simping over drowned Noah. Like, why? He's a corpse. Why would you? Why would you simp over drowned Noah? Liking the original Noah was okay because he's alive, but why simping over a corpse? I don't know. I just need to get that out of the way. Eighth victim, Bridget. Burn, Bridget. Rule 8. Don't start a fight you can't finish. Bridget loved surfing. She loved the water. She loved everything about the ocean. It brings peace to her mind. Her suffering was the complete opposite of what she loved. Being burnt alive. Chris, I know it's frequent for you to get into arguments, but it's always either they win or you give up. There's an energy in that campfire pit. Your temper begins to flare and you feel sensible of adrenaline. If you can't resist it, be smart about picking your battles and keeping your tone down, because she won't forgive you for starting it. She won't forgive you for starting a fight you can't finish. She won't forgive you for disrupting the peace. Lord help if you lose. She's good at hiding. She'll wait until you're away from your helpers before she strikes. Your only chance is to stare her down. Seek out her reflection and meet her black eyes. What she look like? Various burnt skin, ashes all over, burnt hair, burnt clothes. She'll keep staring at you. Have you played a staring contest? Brother Bond. Rule 9. Give him what he wishes. And Rule 10. Give him to him now. Owen was one of the kindest people you could ever meet. He was a very honest boy, very hungry as well, a patient boy. Jeff was a relaxed one, he is. He loved parties and throwing them. He invited anyone because he loved to share his joy with others. A chill person. Watch as they lose their patience being combined together. You must have thought of yourself as a generous man for adding a medical tent on the island, Chris. Campers could have gotten themselves treated whenever they get hurt by accident. But who planned to put them in accidents in the first place? You hear a very loud grumbling from the tent. You swear the ground shook when it did. It's the big guy. He's hungry. You enter the tent, and you see one of the most horrifying scene displays in your eyes. There he was. No, there they were. The big guy and the party boy. Conjoined and swollen together grotesquely and messily. It's almost made you wrench up. One look in pain and hunger, the one look at you dead in the eyes. You hear their stomach grumbling. Go find some food and give it to them. Can't find any? Can't find any? Give them your body. The party boy is impatient with you this time, and the big boy is starving. 11th victim, Dion, the Forest King. Rule 11. Don't ever harm nature. DJ was a sweetheart who loved to cook food and care for animals. He loved his mother so much, and his mother loved him as much. When he was pushed to roll down the hill, she was the last thing he saw when his life flashed before his eyes. We all know your history with animals, Chris. You starve them, neglect their needs, even hurting them for the sake of your ratings. It was an ultimate regret that you stepped foot on the island again, because the animals have an angel to protect them, and he won't think twice on being a devil to you. Just like an animal, he stalks his prey, very silent and careful. A big cold being the only thing that signal his approach. Your breath crystallizes in the air as he pounces. They all pounce. Ronan swarming and rifing, tails moving within its molted poisonous flesh, conjoined and blackened in frostbite. A literal king of the forests. Countless of blank eyes turn madly into their socket. A chittering squeak and they all lock onto you. All eyes staring you in your soul, uncovering your sins. Ever thought about a sharp animal's teeth can be, Chris? DJ was the most hurtful one I read. Because DJ was my favorite character. And it was even confirmed that he was, the last thing he screamed out was, "I'm sorry, Mama." Poor DJ. Poor every camper. Like, geez, like, why is Chris the main character, man? 12th victim, Trent. Trent resents. Rule 12. Never interrupt him. Trent has a love for music. We all know that. He wishes to be a well-known guitarist one day. Instead, he was a fish caught in the hook. Now the only audience he can play is the one in his imagination. Chris, you know what, right? You know that, right? Trent's dream? It's your fault he can never pursue it anymore. A musician instrument is more than just a junk. A lifetime of practice, fingers make songs from wood and wire, putting a piece of their souls into the music he plays. Do you think he'll let it go that easily? He'll let it slide, just this once though. It starts with a death-defying sound, the sorrowful whine of a guitar string picking on the irregular and unpleasant tune. It repeats, like a song glue in your brain, and then rises in pitch, causing you a headache and fatigue. It's really no surprise if you're already stumbling into his web. The fret of his vocal cords flaw outward from his mouth. His mouth was closed, but you could hear mumbling without his moving lips. He stands from where he is. You don't know how, but he speedily walks your way. There's no point in running. Just pray that hell or heaven lets you in. Thirteenth victim, Harold. Bloodface Harold. Rule 13. Don't mess with things that aren't yours. Harold had so much potential in becoming an artist of battle. His intelligence, together with some skillful and knowledge in martial arts, were proof of that. But still, he brought dishonor upon his name when he lost his own life in a real battle. You're a greedy man, Chris. You take what you want because you think you owe the world. You should trust me when I say you wouldn't want to get anything from the toolish. No matter how much you need something, something lingers there. But let's say you need it badly. Go for it then. Take the risk. Look around. Search for the one item you need. You hear a buzz, and it comes from an old television. Superimposition like burned and frozen on the device in the screen you don't recognize. A frame from an unnamed game you don't know. You never played before. Take a closer look past the old quality pixelations. Look at the background, the assets, the characters. You don't know the game, but you've seen it all before. It's Total Drama Island. The screen warps. Staring at you now is a pair of dark eyes. Hyper-realistic eyes. Game over. The screen goes blank. It won't turn on again. You can't help but feel like you met with a terrible fate, haven't you? My theory? I say they won't see you anymore for the next hour. Victim 14. Courtney. Courtney was caught. Rule 15. Never deny your wrongdoings. Courtney was a strong woman with a strong determination to reach her dream of becoming a successful lawyer. She would have defended the people who needed her, the innocent. She would have been the best lawyer around to defend you. But now, how can she when she's caught by hooks? It's such a waste, to be honest. She could have worked for you, you know? Have you been hearing her lately? She dances late at night on the stage. You can hear her there, then pulling on ropes, the metal clings of hooks, the creaking of floorboards, the grunts of dissatisfactions. I would call her a nuperebo, a harmless spirit that only mind its business, but that's wrong. You know when you lie about what you've done. You know if you stay hidden behind the bleachers. You know she'll catch your eyes in the bleachers, so hold your tongue. Never let her overhear words that contradict the truth, even if you think it's true, because she gets angry but lies. You start to feel her presence, short brown hair in the corner of your eyes. You cannot help it, as words tumble from your mouth, her shouts in your ear, the painful sensation of your skin being pierced. Your words are no longer your own, actions not your own. You're like a puppet, and now your feet move and dance you never learned from the steps before. '15 victim. Heather. Heather's hair. Rule 15. Heather was a mean girl. But have you heard of her past? I don't think so. You would think she deserved what she got, because until the end, she was a cold and selfish person. No. She was just a kid. She begged and screamed for her life the night she was decapitated. How about it, Chris? Are you truly scared now? Is it because she's dead now? Because she's one that can haunt you now? You are correct. The Queen of Mean is out there for your head. So watch out when you enter the cafeteria. Because if you're that hungry, you'll get more than what you bargained for. You hear a sound of the clinking tongue. You don't know where it comes from, but the bothersome feeling it brings lingers. You head towards the kitchen, and you hear a clink. A lock click is the clue. It came from the fridge. Resist the urge to approach it. It will only open on its own. You look at what's inside. Freeze. You are met with the head of eyes open, really intensely, one staring right into your soul. It was twitching in ways that will make you hurt. You could see strands of hair moving and tangling and hanging the head up high. Groups of hair move together, synchronized like a spider hero's web. You see it gets closer every second. Victim 16. Did you really think you could run away this time and avoid the consequences again? What a fool. This is the punishment you deserve, and you will lock out of heaven for eternity. Dang. This hurts. Like, really, this hurts. And I feel like we're done. That's all the characters. That's all the characters I got for you. Like, really, that's all I got. So if you don't hear anyone's, if you don't hear no one's, if you didn't hear anything about Gwen, well then that just means to tell you that she survived. If you didn't hear any one of your characters' names, well then, yeah, thinking they survive. Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you guys have a peaceful rest, a peaceful sleep, or try to.